Alright, so my name is Tyson Laycook. I'm from Fresno, California. I have a little story to kind of tell. Hopefully, I can get somebody's attention and maybe somebody will reach out and help me. Uh, Back in October, I ended up going into the hospital for surgery. I had a tumor wrapped around my aorta that was causing a lot of problems. They had the cancer doctor come in and remove it. I ended up being there for 6 weeks, hearsay. I got out for a couple of days, maybe twice, ended up right back in. On the 18th, I went in for the surgery, and I was drug tested. Well, of course, the doctor already forewarned me ahead of time. I drug tested the day before, too. Came out clean. Well, the 18th one came back dirty for amphetamine. At that point, the doctor stated something bad. You gave me a dirty drug test. I said, for what? He said, for amphetamine. I said, how's that possible? I've been clean for 10 years. I don't know. My sister was present at the time. She stated, you better not let mom find out. I'm like, why? It really don't matter. It's just an amphetamine test. Even the doctor said so. It's amphetamine. It's not methamphetamine. At that point, he told my sister to bring all my meds and everything into the hospital. Now, like 30 different meds. So she did. The doctor eliminated all of them and started me fresh. 2 days later, he tested me and I was clean. There was nothing in my system but narcotics for Norco. That's it, Norcos, for the pain medicine, because I had surgery. Now, I'm there for a few weeks. I get out on I believe it was the 24th at night. My sister throws a fit. She's trying to say I discharged myself. Well, I didn't discharge myself. I have the proof. I had the paperwork. It states that I was discharged. I get out. I come home. I get a phone call from my son's mom. She's wanting to drug test me the next day, right out of the hospital, with staples, 100 and something staples in my stomach, and using a walker and barely could move. I had to get a ride too around, so keep that in mind. I said, fine, that's what you really want, I'll go drug test. We do have a court order that states that I have to do a urine Alice test whenever she asks me to, which I was cool with it. So I went ahead and I went down there the next day when they called me to go to drug test. And the guy there says, you can't do one. She wants a hair follicle. You have no hair on your body. No, I don't. I just went on 6 weeks of treatment, surgery. They shave your whole stomach when you get cut open as long as I did. I went down, I went ahead, like I said, I went there and he said, no, you cannot. She wants a hair follicle. He calls her and he tells her, hey, what are you putting this man through? She got attitude and tried to say that I shaved my whole body right before I got there. False. I shaved my body when I was in the hospital before I came home, because if anybody knows me, they know I don't like to look raggedy and I'm all about my looks. No, really, I am. And I wasn't walking out of the hospital with patches all over my face of hair missing and a big old patch on my stomach and patches on my arms. Sorry, I'm not going to do that. I even have pictures to prove that I did it in the hospital. Pictures, okay? Now, so he says something to her about, well, your court order states you can only do a urinalysis test on him. She turns around and flips the script and said that I agreed to do a drug test. I did agree to do a drug test. Our court order says urinalysis, so I'm really thinking that's what it was. But she's claiming now she asked me to do a hair follicle, which is crap, because she's trying to say she text messaged me, but she don't have it in a text message. So at that point, the next day, my sister drives up here, goes to my mom's. I guess my mom and my stepdad go to my daughter's school without my permission, because I've already been getting her out and my in-home care provider here has been getting her from school and keeping her. Well, my in-home goes to pick her up from school at 2:30 or 1:30, my bad. and she's nowhere to be found, and she's not there. The school says she was released to somebody that came in and said they needed her. It was a family emergency. They had to get to the hospital because something was going on with me when I was at home. Okay? So she freaks out. She comes home and I'm like, where's my kid? And blah, blah, blah. Long story short, it was my sister that wasn't even on the emergency card. So my daughter should have never been released to them in the first place. So again, I get a ride to go to the school with a wheelchair, mind you. I'm going off in the school. I tell them, what are you doing? The lady there says, oh, I had a bad gut feeling about this, whoopity whoop, whatever. I end up calling law enforcement. Law enforcement comes out to my house, and we finally get a hold of them. They give them friggin' 2 hours to get her home. They were already out of county. Okay? Kidnapping. That's what that is. Now, I filed charges, blah, 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 whatever. Did all the necessary stuff I was supposed to do. Well, while they're on the phone with my sister tries to tell them, oh, well, I found drugs in this house, and that's why we did it. I found three full sandwich baggies shoved in an arm deodorant bottle, stuffed with some rock crystal meth, something. Okay, for one thing, how the hell would you know anything about that if there is anything in there? Another thing, come on now. Obviously, that's a bunch of bullshit, because 3 sandwich baggies stuffed with some kind of rock meth? Rock meth are 2 different things, for one, and there's no way you can shove 3 sandwich bags in. I'm just saying. Okay? That's pretty out there, pretty fetched. You know what I mean? The officer said, what do you know about 47, blah, blah, blah. I tell him, you can go look at my house, you can search me, you can do whatever you want. He does. He finds no claim on this. The allegations are false. Okay? Still tells her you got 2 hours to get her back. 2 hours later, well, almost 3 hours later, I get her back. The next day, I end up back in the hospital due to stress. Okay? I blood clotted so bad that they pulled out 1.5 liters of blood out of my stomach. So, there again, once again, back under surgery. Cut me wide open again. Now, I'm in there for another 2 weeks. I get out on November 2nd to come to get served November 3rd with court papers for guardianship. Now, my mom's going for guardianship. What a great family I got here. Lots of love. Well, I'm going to try to do this real quick and easy. First time I went, they ended up finding my daughter's mom. Now, I never told you anything about my daughter's mom yet. There's really not much to say. She hasn't been in the picture since my daughter was 6 weeks old. I've had full sole legal custody since then. My daughter's never seen her. She is 6 years old now. At that point, my mom's attorney, because of course, you know, money talks, bullshit walks, right? In court, stated that they just served her the night before court. So the judge had to postpone it for another 2 weeks out. At the end of the court, they asked me to do a hair follicle. Of course I'm going to agree to it, because I'm thinking maybe she sees something I don't. And if I say no, they're going to take my kid. No, I'm not letting that happen. I just got home from the hospital. My kid's stuck up my butt. So far, it's ridiculous. So I go down to hair follicle. They say the same thing. You don't have nothing. So we end up going back to court. We end up seeing a different judge. Well, that judge is going through everything like, whoa, you know what? No. I don't want nothing to do with this. I want to send you back to the other judge. During that time, I'm going to send an investigator out to interview and to figure out what's going on here. So they do. Set it out for 2 more weeks. Investigator comes out, talks to me. CPS comes out and talks to me. CPS is all on my side, so these are all false allegations. Investigator says something to the same sort, but due to the drug tests that I failed, Well, that's what they're calling it. It's a failed drug test because I couldn't do it. The investigator kept asking me that day, so if I test you right now, you'll be clean. I said, yeah, I'll be clean. Test me right now. Well, I didn't. I thought she, yeah, long story short, I thought she had her test on right there on her. So, this is about 11:30. I got to pick up my kid at 1 on Friday. Nobody's here around to help me out here. I just got out of the hospital again, okay? She goes, you got till 12:45 to get here and do a drug test. I go, okay, what about my kid? What about a ride? You have plenty of friends. I'm like, well, where do you see that? Oh, I'm sure you know somebody. You can get a ride. Okay, so, long story short, I didn't make it. I called her right at 12:30. He said, look, I'm having problems. Can you help me out somehow, some way? Well, that didn't happen. Nobody called me back. I left voicemail on her thing. I decided at 12:45, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and try to drive. You know, even though my car's messed up and I feel like crap. Let's see how today goes. I'm just going to go do it, even if I'm late. So I jump in my car. I break down on the freeway. Tell me this does not sound played out. It really sounds like I'm dirty, but it's not. I'm not. I break down on the freeway. I'm waiting for an hour and just about an hour and a half for a tow truck to come pick me up because my radiator blew. Tow truck gets there, you know, tows me home, whatever. I got the receipt. I got everything, you know. Not a big deal. I have everything. We end up going back to court. They read the investigator's report, and the investigator states that due to him missing 2 drug tests, we still feel that he is meeting the child's needs. However, with the 2 tests, it's up to the court's decision. Well, y'all know what happened there. They wouldn't look at nothing I had. And let me remind you, at this time, I have all like 4 or 5 clean drug tests from the hospital that I've already pre-tooken, and I took one on my own. Okay? They're all clean, not one dirty. Judge refused to look at anything. Didn't care. Guardianship to my mother. So I went ahead and I did a reconsideration. I filed something for a new judge. I get denied a new judge, of course. This judge was not signing off on it. I know this is long. I'm sorry. So we go back in front of the court. Oh, I lose my kid for, you know, a good month and a half. I lose Christmas. Don't get to see my kid for Christmas. Didn't get to see my kid at all. They refused to let me see her. During all this time, I still haven't seen my son. Now I got 50-50 with my son, even in holidays and everything, and I have not seen him for 3 months. Okay, because the mom and my parents and my sister are all in cahoots together. So after filing all this and filing all my proof and everything that I still had from the last court hearing, the judge had another investigator come out and talk to me to finish up the reports. CPS came out to finish up their reports. We'll get in front of the judge again. Guess what? I get my kid back. The judge, or the investigator said she rewarded it because I had to go off and look. You kind of screwed that one up. She said that it's in the best interest for the child to go back to the father and that the grandparent be denied. So CPS said the same thing. They said they talked to my daughter. My daughter loves me and she wants to come home, and all the allegations of me beating on my kid, leaving bruises with her, emotionally and physically beating her, destroying her, downgrading her, all this stuff they said about me that I do to my kid was false and a bunch of crap. And that I sell drugs because they found 3 full sandwich baggies full of meth, rock, crystal, and an arm deodorant bottle. These are the facts that they got, okay? No proof, no nothing, no police ever called, no pictures, no nothing about nothing, okay? It was all hearsay and a bunch of shit. Sorry, I'm a little angry right now. So I get my the judge says back to the father at 5 o'clock today. Of course, my mom wants to take it to trial. That looks great. Let's take it to trial. I said, hell yeah, let's take it to trial because there's no way you can win this. Because there's nothing on me. So while we're waiting for trial on March, I believe 14th or 18th, hasn't even come yet, I serve my son's mom with a contempt for breaking the court order because she has not let me see my son, and she has been talking bad mouthing about me to him, telling him I do drugs, I sell drugs, and I'm a piece of shit, and I'm a no good father, and blah blah blah. My son's 14 years old. Before I went into the hospital, he was begging me, Dad, you got a week to get better and to hurry up and get this back to court because I want to come live with you. Now he don't want nothing to do with me because of her. So we go to court. No, we don't go to court. So after I served her, we're waiting. I get my court date. My court date's in April of 2017. She's going to jail for contempt because 3 months, Well, I thought she would be, but I guess not now. Then she decides, guess what? She's going to serve me with custody, an ex parte, saying that, hey, I'm a bad guy. She needs custody right now, full custody. So we end up in court. I didn't know it was going to be mediation and a decision made that day. Had no idea what was going on. Get there, we go straight to mediation. The mediator is a bitch. She's talking so much crap. I looked at her and I even straight up said, are you allowed to talk to us like that? She said I can talk however I want. This is my job. This is what I do. She called me a liar about everything. Blah, blah, blah. Asked me, why haven't you filed a response to this? I said, because honestly, I didn't know I had to, and I haven't, no time. I've been tied up with my other court with my daughter. I go, she does have, I filed a contempt on her, and then all of a sudden now she's doing this. Asked her what she has, and she pulls out all the same shit they used in court for my daughter. Kind of fucked up because on this, she has phone records, she has all the exact same evidence, conversation that me and my sister had, okay? Not her. She has nothing to do with my case and my daughter's case. Everything that my mom said about me and her stuff. All that information was just transferred over to my son's mom. I didn't get permission to do that. There's some personal stuff in there that she shouldn't even know about. Okay? Well, she knows now. She knows everything. I mean, yeah, granted, she is the one that started all this with that stupid hair follicle test that I did not have to do. Because it's not a court order. My court order says your analysis, plus I was clean. Alright. Well, better change that too, because that might get switched around. Was is not the right word. I am clean. So, mediator's going off, and she's talking all this crap and this, and she asked her, well, what proof do you got? She goes, I got all this, and I'm telling her, look, I got my daughter back. All that stuff's been dropped. Okay? I got my kid back. It's dropped. You can't use this against me. And she goes, well, you know what? I'm going to do my report, and then I'm going to do my report, and you guys got court today, so plan on being here all day. I said, wait a minute. I got to get my daughter from school. She gets out at 1:30. Her response to that is, I don't care. That's your problem, not mine. All right, 1:30, guys. Listen, 1:30 is when I got her out of school. Okay? 1:30, with all the other drama with my mom and them, the only person that can get her out of school at this point was me until I redid a new, card for who can pick her up. Okay, emergency card. I said, what am I supposed to do? And like I said, she says she don't care. So now I got a toss up. Now I'm thinking, I asked her, you can't do nothing else? I mean, if I stay here and go to court, my kid will end up in CPS because I never showed up. If I leave and go pick up my kid, I lose my son. What's the benefit here? She goes, I don't know. That's on you. Your decision. Which one you're going to keep? Oh, wow. Really? My daughter does not have a mom. She does not have nothing. And I wasn't going to leave her to CPS. So I go pick him. Oh, sorry, let me go back to that. She schedules court for 1:30, knowing damn well I can't make it. So I go home and I get my daughter. Blah blah blah. Today I go down to pick up the court order to see what was said in court because I didn't make it. And I lost everything. They want me to do 11 classes, different classes. Drug tests 3 times a month, randomly, for 6 months. Do counseling. Supervised visits for an hour a week. All at my pay. Because I'm made out to be some monster that I'm not. I was given my daughter back because of CPS, because the investigators, because of the people that actually came out and talked to me and my daughter and seen my house. I got her back not because I'm a monster. Do you guys think about it? Now I'm going through the same bullshit again, but with my son. But this time, it's worse. And I don't understand how they can use my case for my daughter against me. That's like double jeopardy. I already beat that. And now it's happening with my son. I miss my son. I haven't seen my son in three months. I didn't get none of my kids for Christmas. I just got out of surgery. I almost died 3 times. They cut me open 3 different times because I was clotting and because it was bad. I had to go back every 3 months to make sure they don't have to do radiation or chemo. My parents, my family, nobody knows that. They don't even know how long I was in there because you know what? They failed to even come up to see me at all. I don't know what to do here. I don't have the money like my mom does, or they do. They got lots of money. They got an attorney. Trial, I'm not really worried about it because I know I'll beat that. Like I said, they already returned my daughter back, and it was just because my mom wanted to take it to trial. The judge straight told her, you better have evidence and proof of all this allegations that you're making, otherwise you're not going to win. And if she did, she would already use them. But to my son now, I need an attorney. Someone out there that can help me. I'm asking anybody that knows anybody, or maybe they can help. I'm not asking for money, which I need money, but hey, that's hearsay. I just I need help in the right direction. I'm giving up real fast. My thought process is, why did I live through all this just to come home to this? And it's true. I live for my kids. And that's the only reason why God let me live through that crap that I went through. To come home and get destroyed. I can't take much more. I'm giving up real fast. My kids are my world. And that's all they know was me. I don't know any parent out there that can live without their kids. What I know for me is I'd rather be dead than have my kids think I gave up on them, which is happening. I'm giving up. But I'll kill myself before they think that I gave up on them. I'd rather go out like that and rather have them grow up thinking that something happened to me instead of me walking out on them. I'm going to share this video and see what happens. That's all.